Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we have to authenticate using the service principal and the client secret key. So first of all I have to register with the app. So you have to find out the app registration service from the Azure portal. So let me open it and let me do the new registration. I think I don't have any existing app, so let me create one register one applications. So let me give an example, like that app name would be like the terraform. You just need to give the name, okay, and you have to use for the only the single tenant. So you have to select the first one, like account this organize this default directory only for the single tenant. Let me create. So once get it create, we have to gather the client ID, client secret key, tenant ID, and the subscription ID. So let me copy those details, from these applications. Okay. So let me copy the client ID and the tenant ID here. You can see in the overview of the app registration name, you are getting the client ID and the tenant ID. So let me copy and let me paste here, because while authenticate using the service provider, I mean the service principal inside the agent provider, we have to define these details. So let me copy it in my notepad. Okay, client ID and the tenant ID I copied. Let me go to the subscription, because I need also the subscription ID. As I'm using the free trial, let me open it. In the overview page, I will get the ID of the subscription. Let me copy and paste here. And the last thing, we have to find out the secret value of the app registration. Okay, so let me open the app. Let me open it. Let me go to inside the applications and let me find out the certificates and the secret options. Okay, here to generate the certificate, key, whether we have to upload the existing certificate, but we have to use the client secret options. Let me add a client secret key and let me keep the name like the terraform, and expire date you can select as per your requirement. So I can take it for the 180 days, which is equal to 6 months. And once created, I have to take the copy the value only, right? So make sure the client secret would be value only, okay, not the secret ID. Okay, only you have to copy the value. Generally the people, okay, while doing it, generally they copy the secret ID. Okay, so secret ID is not required, so make sure the value is required. Okay, and let me go to the same document and to find out those parameters which is required to add inside my provider for the Azure service principal. So you can refer this same document. So I have to select authenticate using the service principal and the client secret. Okay, let me open it. Let me see those parameter on the below. It is mentioned. Okay, let me go scroll down to find out those parameters which is required to define inside my provider for the Azure. I think it was on the uh, end of the page. Let me find out. One second. Mm, yeah, it is this one. Okay, so let me copy this. Okay, under the features we have to copy this parameter. Just let me copy this value and let me paste inside the my Visual Studio Code, and after that I can replace the value of the client ID, client secret, tenant ID, and the subscription ID with the actual value. Okay, let me go to my code, which is my main.tf file, and inside the provider. Okay, I told you after the provider, like inside the after the feature. Okay, after row number 14, just need to enter, then I have to add the parameters. So now I have to replace the value with the actual value, which I already copied to my notepad. Let me copy the client ID. Make sure you have to match the key and the value. Okay, don't copy the secret inside the client ID or subscription ID inside the tenant ID. So make sure the actual value need to be copied in the right location. Okay, I just copy the client ID and let me copy the client secret also. Let me replace with the actual value. Let me copy the subscription ID. I replace the actual value of the subscription ID. The last one is remaining, which is my tenant ID. Let me copy it from my notepad and let me replace the value for the tenant ID here. Just let me double check and let me confirm. It seems all the value are put in the right location. Let me do the AG logout here, because AG login, whatever the credential is stored, so it can be removed. Okay, so this time instead of using the AG login, we are using the Azure service principal. Okay, so you don't need to log in like the AG login. Okay, your email ID or the password is not required to authenticate. Okay, so in order to verify, we can do terraform plan. So just let me run it. I'll see whether it is giving any error or not. My my client ID, client secret, tenant ID and the subscription ID is correct. Most probably it should not throw the error. Oh, yeah, I see the different error because I created the applications. Okay, but from the subscription ID also I need to provide the required privilege to the Azure principal, so that the Azure principal can able to deploy the resources inside that particular subscription. Okay, so let me go to the subscription. That step I have I skip. Okay, I already mentioned in my notepad to perform this activity, however I skip it. Okay, let me go to the access control IAM, and then we have to add the role assignment. So in order to deploy or in order to provision any resources inside the Azure environment, most probably we have to we require the contributor or the owner access. So as I'm using for the demos perspective, so we can take the contributor access. That is sufficient to create, delete, and modify the resources. Okay. So we have two type of roles. One is the job functions role, that is according to your your resources, like Kubernetes, VM, storage. Okay, so the required permission is required for the specific services. And second is the privileged admin role, like the owner, contributor, and user, which is the generic one. Okay, so let me select the members. So here you can add the user or group name or the service principal name also. Okay, so let me try to add the my principal name. You can see my email ID is showing here, as well as if I try to search the application name, it should be populated automatic. It's taking some time to search because my internet is a little bit slow. Yeah, so I find out the application name. Let me select it, and you can at a time you can add multiple user and the application to provide the privileged part to the users. Okay, let me review and assign the required policy. So I given the contributor access to my like the Azure principal, which is my application. Okay, and let me do the terraform plan. The error should not come now, because we provided the required privilege like the contributor access to my Azure service principal. Yeah, you can see the it authenticated, and it asking in the plan it is giving the result like it will create one, it will deploy one resource with the resource group. That name is example the resources. In the last session we created and destroyed that group is not exist in my resource Azure portal. So let me apply, then we can see whether it is creating or not. Okay, sorry, terraform plan don't require auto approve, we are supposed to apply it. Okay, so let me do terraform apply. Okay, so guys, don't use auto approve in your production. Okay, because auto, if at least you can do it manually, right? Just type terraform apply, so that in case you don't need to apply, or you want to repose, at least you can get rid of that, right? Or if you do the auto approve, there is no any chance to revert back, or to cancel that, right? So don't use auto approve in the production environment. You can see the resource group were created. Okay, so in this video we did the authenticate using the Azure principle. Okay, so thank you guys, I will connect in the next session to deploy the vnet and the storage account. Okay, so thank you guys, thank you, bye bye.